Hi, everybody. Psalmist David here with another fresh bread, and excited to be here with you, sharing this time. Word of inspiration, and then some music on the harp today. Um, a simple concept today, simple word. It's taken from Matthew chapter 10 and verse 30. It says, "But the very hairs of your head are all numbered." And I just wanted you to think about that for a moment. Think about the consequences of that. Think about the implications. The hairs of your head are all numbered. And this is Jesus speaking. Jesus is saying this. The hairs of your head are all numbered. Do you have any idea how many hairs are on, let's say, 1 square inch of your head, maybe? Maybe the left side. Maybe the back at the top where we're going a little bit bald. We don't have a clue. We do not have a clue. And Jesus is saying this to say, don't fear anybody else, but God, who knows everything about you intimately because He created you. And He's not the God who creates junk, as they would say. And He's not the kind to create something and leave it spinning off into space and qui sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. He's a God who is intimately involved with His creation, with His people from start to finish. Then there is a continuum. Father, son, 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 mother, daughter, 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 granddaughter to the third degree. And God is very much ordering our steps and so on. I had the fortune or misfortune, I'm not really sure, but I was in the presence of somebody who had a birthday today, and one of the gifts that they got was a bouquet, was a floral arrangement, right? Floral arrangement, right? And to me, it looked fine. I have no, flowers, a little bit of leaves, a thing it sits in. It, had the general shape of what these things look like. I'm not a huge flower person, but this person was upset, not with the giver, but with the lack of attention to detail of the flower arranger who set it up. This person has had a course or two and many years in the field of crafting and designing floral patterns and arrangements and so on. And they were just going on about how this was out of place and they couldn't have two of the same flower next to each other and nothing on the other side to balance it, and too much green background on one side and not enough on the other side, and the front was the back and the back was the front, and we just went on, and I was just there puzzled because it looked okay to me. I mean, but the attention to detail, the attention to detail. We have a God who pays great attention to detail. There is nothing in your life that is out of place. There is nothing that He has overlooked. There's no faux pas with God. There's no, oops, I should have done the air a little bit. Oh my goodness. Everything. He just speaks and perfection happens. And the issue sometimes is our perfection is not His perfection. His perfection is a little child. As far as we're concerned, that child is now starting. I mean, we got to be potty trained, got to learn to walk and run, and as far as God's concerned, everything is wrapped up in that little bundle of joy. That is perfection right there. The attention to detail, and God knows what's going to happen at year 1, when the child is going to start walking, when the child's going to start talking. God knows what's going to happen at year 5, year 7, year 12. And he's not put off by it. He's quite comfortable. Just to let you know, you are not falling through life. You're not a floral arrangement that somebody's gone wrong. They put 2 orange flowers on one side and 1 pink on the other side, and it's just not balanced. God doesn't do those things. So maybe we need to ask him for his eyes to see how he has created, to understand and accept that he does not make mistakes. We're all fearfully and wonderfully made. I shared that with you a few days back. And so it's just coming on board with what God is saying and understanding God's beauty. And he's very balanced. And if he has 2 pinks on one side and an orange on the other side, you can be sure that in another year it'll be different, or he has some reason for that. And the fact that we're all different and have so many different abilities and skills and gifts and ways of seeing things, and some are left brain and some are right brain, and some are autistic and brilliant, and others are logically inclined, and everybody's different, but God has an order and a perfection in everybody. So start to hold your shoulders square, start to stand upright, start to give up any kind of depression or self-consciousness that makes you feel less than. You are wonderful, and God doesn't make mistakes. So let's come on board. If he finds it necessary to number the hairs on our head, my, that is attention to detail on the scale that is unmatched. Who does that? I mean, who is aware of that? Who cares about that? God is a good God. God's a good God. He has us in the palm of his hands. He says we're the apple of his eye. So go with that assurance today that your Father knows everything there is to know about you, from the time you are conceived to the time you take your last breath. Nothing catches him by surprise. So let's get with his program. Let's start to say, okay, God, if all of my hair is numbered and you see it necessary, how do I need to be thinking about this circumstance? What do you have for me? Is this type of a relationship going to help me or hurt me? How can I be more useful to myself and to your kingdom? What are some things that I need to weed out of my life? What are some things that I need to transplant into my life? And really turn it over to God in a much more deliberate and intentional. That's the big word these days, intentional. Let's be intentional about giving God a greater voice in our lives and really listening to what he has to say. All right? Let's hear what the harp has to say now. days numbered, everything about us. Go have a super day.